Welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Let's see what Tree Angel Oracle card has a message for us today. It's been quite a while since this deck has been featured on the show. But let's see what we have coming through for you. Beautiful day, beautiful soul. And welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Coming to you live once again from Las Vegas. I go by Melinda NailFanatic, but you could call me Mel, and we're back to deliver this latest collective, timeless channel message for you. So when you find it, it's by divine design. When it resonates, pick it up and run with it. If it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Either way, make your choices and decisions responsibly today, because you'll always have the consequences and repercussions to pay. You have questions, I have answers. You can find those facts below the video, in the description box, and on the website. And after these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. The following message has been co-signed by the divine and sponsored by Spirit. Okay. We have the horse chestnut. It's card number 28. This looks like somebody's old grandpa sitting there. He got that long beard. He's got all the chestnuts in his lap there at the foot of this tree. Card number 28. 2 is referencing the High Priestess of the Tarot. 8 is referencing the Strength card of the Tarot. 2 plus 8 equals 10. That references the Wheel of Fortune of the Tarot. So we have knowing your power changes the game. I hear knowing your power changes the game. Okay, nice. Get your notebooks out. Take your personal notes in your notebook, because that's where you can reflect back on them. Let me get in the live so I can see your comments as they're pouring in. I can see what's going on the channel with you. I love to be present and see your perspectives, your comments, and your presence. So thankful and grateful for it. It means so much to me. And let's see what the book has to say about this horse chestnut tree. The horse chestnut is one of the ancient trees of Europe. It survived the last ice age in a valley hidden in the Balkans, where it remained. Since its countless large and heavy conkers never fall far from the tree, it was only in the 16th century that this beautiful tree was discovered by a Flemish diplomat who was visiting Turkey. From that time onward, it spread far and wide across the world thanks to human intervention and the botanical gardens of Paris and London. Now, in many parts of the globe, children and adults play with its shiny red-brown conkers. And not before time. The horse chestnut had to wait nearly 10,000 years for its fruit to be enjoyed and appreciated. The angel of horse chestnut possesses an appropriately angelic level of patience. It teaches us an ancient trust to wait peacefully until it is the right time to act. And once we have mastered waiting, we are not actually waiting anymore. We are able to enjoy what is now. We haven't just achieved the ability to be patient. We have also found the optimism and confidence to know that everything will turn out well, or that things are going well already, will even get better. We know that the universe is abundance itself and gives us all plenty. We can join in and become as generous and free as this tree growing on fertile soil with its profusion of leaves, buds, and fruit. Don't hold back. Be generous. Empty vessels will be filled. Let's give pleasure to ourselves and others. Without the blessings of the horse chestnut, we are quick to lose patience. We rush and hurry after things that don't make us happy in the end because the timing just isn't right. When a situation gets serious, we become pessimistic, mean, and mistrustful. Okay. So I am seeing that there, you know, this is a energy where it's a long awaited harvest that's available. Let's see the others. Since there was two, they showed me that this will represent one side of the table and this will represent the other side of the table. So let's see what we have over here. Holly, it's card number 4. Number 4 is Emperor energy in the Tarot system. Okay. So let's see what the book has to say about holly. Opened right to it, Lord of mercy. We all know that the holly is prickly, a characteristic that we may not like. But the holly's thorns also spur us on or even wake us up. Just as its distinctive leaves are clearly defined, with holly the mist suddenly clears, enabling us to see all kinds of things with clarity and good judgment. We may still experience painful disappointments, but at the same time, we also gain a hitherto untapped power. It enables us to take up the sword of truth and spiritedly cut through the veil of illusion that was clouding our perception. With holly, we outgrow our fears and start to view life with a new clarity, realizing that things are not just black or white, good or bad. With holly's medicine, we can see the variety of color in our rich and often complex lives. Holly, therefore, often marks a crossing or turning point and shows energy and a deeper personal integrity. With the holly at our side, we can do spiritual battle if we have to, and regardless of whether we win or lose, we can maintain our composure and higher purpose. Yet beware, this blessed sword will only remain with us if used to help us on our unique path to truth. Its purpose is not to scare off or injure others, but to aid perception. Holly represents a test of ourselves. Without the power of holly, we remain in half light, ensnared in illusion and fantasy. We become comfortable in our self-made world and only seek our own advantage. Eventually, we may even become cowardly and weak. I see this holly as representing somebody who could be feeling very prickly right now, but who also, they're at a point where it's like this transition point into greater awareness, and they use the word awakening. So I see all of that there on that side of the table. Interesting. Now, I was guided that today I should use decks that hadn't really been touched for a while, and so the next one that we're going to have coming out is the Mind Body Makeover cards. This is interesting. I think this is the only box of cards that I have that came with 2 different decks inside of it. So we'll go ahead and use both of the different decks that come inside of it. Let's see what we have in this energy for the tribe, please and thank you. These cards are very psychology based, from my perspective, but they're excellent, and I just haven't pulled them down for a while, so it's time for the Mona Lisa makeover cards to speak. All right. So what do we have for the tribe, please and thank you? So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. I see you in the comment section. You know, the more you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on with the channel, is a message to your spirit team, your angels, your ancestors, your guides, your highest self, the universe, and the divine, that you're ready. You're present, you're receptive, and you are ready to take in new information, to expand your awareness. Anything I hear or see as part of the channel messages that I receive, I always share with you completely, whether they make sense to me or not. So on the tribe side, we have Healthy Love, card number 2 from the Healthy Love part. It says, if I cannot get a need met in a relationship, I am able to get that need satisfied in some other way. I am a whole person, whether I am alone or with someone. We have talked so much about this lately, and that energy keeps coming out on tribe side of the table, and I freaking love it. Let me see what the flip side says. One of the most important parts of a loving relationship is that someone gives me what I need. When I love someone, they are my better half. They complete me. So I love that this came out. I'm so glad that they guided me to use this deck because, honey, how many readings has this energy been active for us? Like, it's here again, and they're literally using the same words that we've been channeling through for you. You know, you are a whole person. You know, somebody is not your better half. I mean, that would indicate that you are the worst half. Lord of mercy. Okay, let's see the other side of the table with the holly. Thank you. And it came out with the low vibrational thought showing on top. That's significant, I think, because yours came out upright, tribe. The other side of the table is coming out here and saying, my destiny is to experience pain, suffering, and personal struggle. Well, that would make a person prickly if they really believe that. And they may really believe that because it's coming out in the cards. Let's see the upright thinking on it with healthy self-esteem, card number 7. I now release any repetitive patterns that bind, limit, and restrict my growth and evolution. Awesome. So, you know, we're going to put it the way it came out, they said. It is true that if you allow yourself to get caught up in these the pain, suffering, and personal struggle and believing that the world is against you, it could make your character very prickly. But just like in this image, we have this being, and they seem to be connecting to a higher self. I do see like this person they're ready for more. They're ready to expand their awareness. They're ready to come into having a greater perception of their truth. And with this deck, they just showed me not to put one on each side, but rather to do the other 3 positions that I normally would in our 5-card spread. So let's see what's the connecting energy here for the tribe in this experience, please and thank you. Oh, what do we have? Are you going to give me something? Do I need to reach in and pick it? What's going on here? Oh, okay. You're going to give it to me. Thank you. We have bathing. I immerse myself in healing waters. The warmth penetrates deeper and deeper, drawing out any stress and restoring my inner balance. That's the energy of this connection. So interesting because with bathing coming out in the energy of the connection, like I just see like we have a person here who is whole and complete on the tribe side. On the other side of the table, we have this person who is unaware that, you know, they don't have to repeat patterns that limit them, that bind them, that restrict them. You know, they can grow and expand out of any pain, suffering, or personal struggle. And in the what you need to know position, the nature card comes out. It says, just as life continues renewing itself forever, I discover a new passion today, and life springs up in me again. That feels like that awakening energy. And I love that it's the card that says nature, because we started off with the tree oracle, and I don't even know the last time we used the tree oracle on the channel. So we already brought nature into this reading. Let's go off the top of the deck for the guidance. This is morning light. I remember, a deep remembering who I am. Before my eyes are open to the world around me, I remember the inner journeys, the deeper imaginings, the integrations of my purpose. I remember. So in the guidance, it's like, it looks like tribe, you're coming into someone's experience as a whole person. Maybe it looks like for some of you, it has to do with sharing the remembrance of who you are. For others of you, it's not just that, but it's also the helping this person to remember who they are. And I'm hearing for a lot of us, it's just doing it for yourself and then remember who you are, maybe sharing that experience, and then allowing the space for this person to come into their own remembrance as well, because we all have our personal remembrance, and it's fitting that we should. Okay, it is absolutely fitting that we should, because when we come to this planet, before arriving, we had made plans, agreements, we had set an outline for our life. And when we're here, the part of the process is the remembering of who and what we truly are. Because as we live on this planet, we begin to take on the perceptions, the ideas, and the programs of the world around us, the filters even. They're like filters. As I'm looking at this image of Holly, even the way the person's image is shown, it just looks like they have filters on them, right? Like if this was a selfie or somebody took a photo of this person, that's not what they really look like. That's totally a filter. Totally a filter. And so, yeah, there's this idea of removing the filters and the programmings and the false beliefs and all of the stuff that is restricting the actual remembrance of who one is. Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and use the Divine Energy Oracle. And let's get started on Tribe's side. Tribe, you're showing up as a horse chestnut. And I heard, yeah, are you actually a horse Chinese zodiac? Okay, let me see what we have for you. Choose friends wisely. Choose friends wisely. Well, I mean, you're a whole person, which indicates that a lot of people are going to want to be in your presence. People are attracted to whole and complete energy. And Tribe, you bring that to the table. So you're going to attract a lot of different types that are interested in that, which you carry. Does that mean that they are the best thing for you? Not always. Let's see here. Oh, Lord of mercy, where's this? Here, let me find the card. I've never used this book from this deck, but let's go ahead and dive deeper into it. Choose friends wisely is on page 68. 6 is lovers. 8 is strength. Absolutely. Lovers card, one of the older meanings of the lovers card is definitely choices, okay? And 8 is strength, so you need to choose empowering friendships and then making empowering choices in bonds, right? Do you feel surrounded by people who don't understand you? Does it seem as though you're a fish out of water? Do you wonder where kindred souls can be found? No, you aren't the ugly duckling, and there isn't anything wrong with you, or anyone else for that matter. It's just that as your soul grows and your spirit begins to claim its unique individuality, your personal vibration begins to change. And bonds break with those with whom you no longer resonate. This is a natural sign of your growth. It is stressful when relationships change, but change is inevitable with growth. Continue to love and accept yourself and others as the social landscape changes, and pray for kinship as you travel your soul's path. It will show up. Your divine energy is calling you to peacefully release attachments to those with whom resonance does not exist, freely and without guilt. Keep your heart and mind open. New uplifting friends will soon appear. This does not mean that you should break from all who do not agree with you. Listen and learn from those who, like you, seek to grow. And refrain from forcing harmony with those who are not open to growth. Now is not their time. Your divine invitation. Give time and energy to those who display an open heart and conscious awareness that mirrors your own commitment to growth. Be honest about the influences surrounding you and step away from those others who don't get you or who hold you back. Even if this means that you must temporarily stand alone, you'll find the right people when you leave the wrong crowd. Okay. As a whole person, everybody's not going to vibrate with you. Everybody's not going to resonate with you. Everybody's not on that frequency. And sometimes there is a cleanup that has to go through, right? Let's see the other side of the table. What's the energy on the other side of the table where we have this prickly holly person over here? Okay. It says, bust out of your cocoon. Bust out of your cocoon. It even said look forward, but we kept the bust out of your cocoon card. When I flipped it over, then the Keep going. What does it say? Keep moving forward. Lord have mercy, I forgot that quickly. Look forward. It said look forward. It was there. But they want me to do the bust out of your cocoon. So this person needs to look forward. Bust out of your cocoon is on page number 50. So that's Hierophant in full energy. That is the divine intervention. I hear that's a divine intervention that brings in infinite potential. Interesting. Okay. One phase of your life is ending and a new one is beginning. You are on the verge of exciting new possibilities. Even though you may feel highly restricted at this time, you aren't trapped. Like a butterfly struggling to become free of the cocoon, you're simply breaking free of present limitations and releasing your spirit to a greater, more expansive and creative tomorrow. Your divine energy is calling you to push past your fears and limitations and have the courage and confidence needed to soar to new heights. You are on the threshold of spreading your spiritual wings in brand new directions and embracing your full potential. This is a very exciting time and well worth any discomfort you may be feeling. Your divine invitation. Be honest and release what no longer resonates with you. Step away from things, situations, and people that do not bring joy and vitality. To reach out for something greater, you must first let go of what is in your hand. You are entering a time of spiritual empowerment, able to fully engage with life on your terms. Who are you today? And what do you want to experience right now? Once you decide, nothing stands in your way. They say, look at the bottom of the deck. It says, express your joy. That's a common foundation. So I see in this energy so far, like we have tribe over here. Tribe is whole and complete. And tribe is aware that everybody ain't your cup of tea and you ain't everybody's soda. Oh, okay. You understand that some people can go with you for a while others cannot. On the other side of the table, there's somebody here who's been living a life with a whole lot of difficulty in it, and they become a bit of a prickly person, but I just see like there's awareness being brought to them that, hey, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to go down that roller coaster, okay? Interesting the way it's coming out. And this person is being invited to become more than they have been, to expand into a greater clarity and awareness of self. So we have the Illuminated Tarot coming out today. It's more like playing cards, but it is a tarot system, but it's definitely more like playing cards, which I am able to do cartomancy as well. You know, before I used any divination cards, I was playing a game called Apples to Apples with the children. And as I was shuffling, a message came through. And that's what actually motivated me in my adult life to go get some cards. That experience had made it very clear that I could receive messages. To me, it did. And so whether they be through cartomancy, regular playing cards, tarot cards, oracle cards, or any other cards, you know, I'm able to receive those messages. And because it's not about the tool that you use, it's about the energy that you be. It's about who and what you are. So there's an important side message there. Let's go into this. What do we have for the tribe? What are the most important messages? This deck has actually been trying to whisper at the side of my intuition for days now, but I hadn't picked it out. And today was the day they were like, yeah, you're going to use all those decks you haven't touched. Oh, okay. Let me see tribe side of the energy. What do we have on the tribe side of the table, please, and thank you. What do we have? Buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Welcome. Okay, how you doing? We have the Queen of Clubs energy. You're creative. You're passionate. You're extremely magical. And when you come into somebody's life, you bring so much joy. We have all these sunflowers surrounding. Sunflowers represent happiness. I read somewhere once that when the clouds and stuff cover up the sun, and the sun doesn't come out, that sunflowers turn and face each other, and that's absolutely beautiful. I see that you have I'm hearing uncanny ability to point out beautiful things in people. You have an ability to make them aware of beautiful aspects of themselves that they may not have been aware of before you speak it, before you highlight it. But when you come and you highlight something, it's always something positive. I said you have a very magical energy, that you're in your power. I see you have a lot of talents. Some of you, these talents are athletic. Others of you, these are artistic. Either way, you're extremely talented and passionate. And when you're in your vibes, in your tune, in your tone, in your frequency, you are. I mean, listen. You can come through and be the best thing or the most dangerous thing that one has seen. Now, as I'm looking at her, and she's actually showing up as a tiger energy. Yeah, tigers are very precise and effective hunters. Absolutely. They're experts at blending in with their environment. So there is an energy here with you, tribe, where you've got all this magic and ability, but you don't make a lot of noise about it. You just kind of blend in. So you look like the average Joe. You just look like a regular average person. She's holding her blue cat in her hand, and she's holding a wand with the sunflower there at the top of it. The blue cat, I see that the cat extremely intuitive, and the blue is giving me throat chakra energy. And what I'm seeing is like you channel these freaking messages too. Like you get the gotta take a dump urge to open your mouth and say stuff to folks. And whether they enjoy it or not, I see that it's always to the point of empowerment. When you speak out to folks, it's always to the point of empowerment. But in order to be able to do that, you had to figure out how to do that for yourself, is what I'm seeing. Yeah. So let's keep moving forward and see what else we have coming for you. As you sit there beautifying the planet, is what I just heard. As you sit there beautifying the planet and humanity with your energy. What's on the other side of the table? Who or what do we have on the other side of the table, please and thank you? Anywhere where you have Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius in your birth chart and you are aware of it, that is being highlighted right now. On the other side of the table, we have, the 10 of Hearts energy. Wow. This person loves being around you. I heard it's that sunflower energy that you shine. Yeah, I heard it's that sunflower energy that you bring to the table and shine so abundantly. Because, this person has had a lot of pain, suffering, and personal struggle. And what happens when they get around you is that they finally see a resonance with a part of themselves that they haven't been able to find that mirror magic with anyone else. Everybody else is just highlighting. I hear all the others that have been around them have simply highlighted the pain, the struggle, and the suffering. That had been the connective energy with those ones. But you and this person are resonating with the bathing energy, the healing waters, yeah? The part that moves away from stress and moves towards balance. I like the way this 10 of Hearts energy looks very much like a Wheel of Fortune. I do like that. It looks so much like it with the 4 corners here and the circular pattern. Like, that's actually pretty awesome because this person is reaching a culmination point in their emotional process, is the way I'm seeing that. In other words, they're hitting this point of where shit's got to change in their emotional body. Like, this is an energy of, I'm so tired of feeling the way I've been feeling. Baby, when I get around you, when I see you, never know when you might walk by. So I gotta be right on time when I see you. Like, you make when you come around, This person gets really excited. They get really happy. Like you and the highest part of who this person is vibe very well. And it just, the way I'm sensing it is that this person hasn't been around somebody who is a frequency match to the highest parts of what they are. And if they have, it's been a long time. Been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Okay. Okay, that's that Aaliyah song? Okay. Yeah, so apparently, like, you're bringing a dope beat for this person to step to. This person really enjoying your presence. This person is trying to come out of their cocoon. If they were trying to come out of their cocoon, that's because they were in their cocoon. You can't come out of a cocoon if you're not in one, right? So in some sort of way, this person has been in a breakdown process. That's what happens in the cocoon. In the cocoon, the self gets broke down to mush and gush and nothing. And it stays a period in that solitude, right? It stays a period in that solitude. But when it's revealed, it's so much more than what it was when it went in, you know. It's a whole nother creature. A whole nother creature. So how fitting is it then that tribes should have this interaction with this person or these people or this group or the situation that is ready to evolve into a higher level, become more of what it was, become what it may not have ever realized that it was going to be. Interesting. Thank you. They're pointing out some research that came across my consciousness just within the last 2 or 3 days. Somehow scientists were able to look at and map the consciousness of a caterpillar prior to the cocoon phase and compare that to the consciousness of the butterfly once it's come out of the cocoon. And what do you know? That the butterfly still retained the same consciousness, but it became more, right? As when it was a caterpillar. So it's like there's not a forgetting of who you were, or this person is not going to forget who they were, but they will become more. This person is not going to let go of who they were. It will always be a part of what they've become, but they are becoming more, you know. And the remembrance of who they were is actually a big deal in this, is what I'm hearing. It's actually a really big deal in this, because if this one was to forget where they've been and who they've been, you know, they'd be possibly repeating old patterns and stuff like that they didn't have any need to. And I'm hearing likewise, like, tribe, you know that because you remember who you were. You remember why you did the dumb shit you did before, and thank God you did it back then. Otherwise, you might do it again now. But now we know better than to do that. Let's go into this connection a little bit more, please. What do we have in the connection in this experience for tribe? Well, we have this prickly one who's ready for a transformation and ready to bust out. Oh, and as I say, a prickly one, right? It's showing me like that's part of the busting out of the cocoon phase. They needed to be prickly. That prickliness is going to help them bust that shell open of that cocoon. So, in other words, anywhere where this person has been standoffish, anywhere where this person has been highly reactive or whichever way, prickly, yeah. Very necessary to help them bust out of the cocoon, which is part of completing their transformation. So this person could even be rubbing somebody the wrong way these days, saying some shit that people don't want to hear, doing some shit people don't want to hear, but it's part of their transformational phase. It's something they had to do. It's a sort of a self-honoring, right? A self-recognition and a self-acceptance, I heard. In the connection, oh, we have the 5 of Diamonds. That image is giving me Hierophant energy all over it. And the Hierophant is major arcana number 5. And then I got the key. Okay, so you got the key. In this connection, there is the key. It has something to do with the bathing, the healing waters, you know, restoring of inner balance. And because I can see the Hierophant very clearly here, I'm seeing life lessons. I'm seeing starting new traditions. I am seeing what appears to be like a burn mark on the corner of this card. Interesting. So there's been a little burning, but it didn't affect what the heck it is, and it definitely doesn't cover up what is. Oh, message. I love the way Spirit be channeling shit through me. And I don't know how that got there or when that got there or if it actually is in fact a burn mark, but that's what it looks like. So in this connection, it's like this connection seems like it unfolds because of the hurt, right? This person has been through some hurt. This person has been through some pain. That's part of why this connection is here. Now, the other thing is, I see that in this connection, two people are going to come together to unlock secrets. I hear to unlock secrets within themselves. That's what it's about. I hear that. Yeah, that's what it's about. Interesting. I also see that as you are tribe, you're in this whole person energy, whether you're alone or with somebody, the fact that you're not needing a relationship definitely is indicative of the fact that you are actually attracting one, because what you don't need, you can have, and you do have on some level. You got a great relationship with yourself that's opening up great relationships with others, and it really is also looking like you're coming in with divine timing in somebody's life at a point where they're ready for a breakthrough, where they're ready for a more expanded awareness, and where they're ready to transform from a caterpillar crawling on its belly to a butterfly in the sky. You can fly twice as high. Right? This person is ready to release repetitive patterns that bind, limit, and restrict their growth and evolution. It's time for that, yeah? Because they thought that, damn, life is just all the pain, suffering, and personal struggle. Oh boy, they're so done with that. They're ready to make a change. Gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. You don't know what a person has been through, tribe, and you don't know where they're at in their consciousness. But this looks like you being connected with somebody who is there. They ready, baby. They're ready to heal. They're ready to grow. They're ready for more. They're ready to see just how good life can be, I heard. Let me see in the what you need to know, where we had nature come out. What else do we have to add to that, love source, for the tribe? Just as life continues, renewing itself forever, I discover a new passion today, and life springs up in me again. I just see, like, tribe, anywhere where you're seeing this person, whatever capacity of connection this is, I do see that, like, you could build that, because we talked about you being passionate with that Queen of Clubs energy that you came through, and it seems like, you know, this person could be somebody that you feel like, hey, that's worthy and deserving of my time. Okay, but let's see what you need to know. And we have the Eight of Hearts. That circular energy is here again. This energy is talking about a conversation. I know that all of these cards, much like playing cards, they're same image, upright and upside down. But it's definitely giving me a conversation where there's a meeting of the minds. A meeting of the minds allows for release, is what I'm hearing. A meeting of the minds allows for release. Okay. A meeting of the mind. In other words, there's some agreement. There's some common ground. Okay. And they're changing the word allows to facilitates. It facilitates release. Okay. Kind of meaning the same thing. But it's like, it's almost like somebody just needed to bounce some shit off of another person that they could actually have like-minded thinking with. Somebody who could get their point. Somebody who could understand them. Somebody who could see things the way they see things. Somebody who could feel things the way they feel things. Somebody who could hear them speak. Somebody who got the point, the picture. Somebody who gets it, right? And not by force. Spirit somewhere it brought out that not by force, but by choice, by willingness, by willing cooperation, by willing participation. Yeah. Highlighting again, not by force. This is not by force. This is by nature. not by force, but by nature. So there's this natural evolution. So it's almost like nobody's trying to pick another person's brain. It just naturally comes out in the conversation, the things that need to be discussed. Again, going back to channeling information, like tribe, I just see you hitting on points, the perfect points that need to be hit on. Yeah. Hitting the nail on the head without taking aim. Okay, never said that statement before, but hitting the nail on the head without taking aim. Okay. I heard without a hammer. Interesting. Without taking aim and without a hammer. Interesting. Like the hammer is your voice. That's all you needed. That was the only tool you needed. Okay, you didn't need a hammer. Interesting. Let's go over here to the morning light energy as the guidance position, where it talks deeply about the remembering. I see that your interaction with this person causes a remembering. Interesting the way it works. And they're showing me the light codes and DNA upgrades that the souls and the highest selves interchange when you're in connection with this person, which is highlighting in my consciousness that somewhere where this person is busting out of their cocoon, and then I hear, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Okay, however that applies. But you've been through this process. So that's when it's like, tribe, are you coaching somebody who is where you've been before and you're very strongly aware of that? That's what it feels like. Let me see. In the guidance we have, oh, it's the Fool energy come out to play. Ready for that new journey? Taking that leap of faith. Going for the gold. Infinite potential is here. Allow the infinite potential, baby. Go in with the infinite potential. Anything and everything you need along the journey will be provided. Travel lightly and keep the energy light. Trust in the journey. It's all about the journey. You don't know how long it's going to last. Let's not start putting expectations and defining things. Let's leave the labels out. Let's leave the timetables out. Let's just be here in the moment. Be where your feet are. And allow the experience to unfold and reveal itself to you with the nature energy that we had over here is what I'm hearing. Beautiful. Let's see what's at the bottom of this deck. We have the 8 of Diamonds. I want to highlight that this card so far is the only one that doesn't have that mirror reversal effect, if you notice. And it's this person is quilting. They're making a quilt in the 8 of Diamonds, right? Sewing, diligently sewing each piece together. Now, they could have made this card a mirror image like the others are all mirror images pretty much, but they did not. This one is upright. They are creating a blanket, creating comfort, creating a tool to comfort, to warm one up when it's chilly, to protect one from external elements, I hear, okay? Interesting. Handcrafted, I hear handcrafted. So this is giving energy of a couple of different things. One, tribe has an ability to come in and with that, again, with that sunflower energy that showed up all over your Queen of Clubs card, create comfort. You know how to create comfort in lives with people, for yourself and for others. But even more than that, if these hands are the universe and these pieces of patchwork that compose these quilts are life experiences, people, and situations, honey, this has been in the making. It's like all these series of life events have led to this magic moment. Yeah, absolutely. It's like every bit of the steps were necessary to get here to this point. Like, it's like you had to meet this person when they were at this point of their growth. When they were at this point of fed up with the struggle, the pain, and the suffering. You had to meet this person at this time. Everything is stitched together in its perfect order to create the situation. So that energy is here. Interesting the way this is coming out. What deck are we going to next, tribe? Okay. I saw that immediately. Let me see. I can't remember the name of it. Let me give it to you though. The Lumicella Togetherness Quilt Spiritual Crafting Oracle Deck. Love the way they did that. That's great. The way they just crafted it together, quilted it together, stitched it together. We're going from the quilt card at the bottom of the deck to the quilting deck. Okay, so let's see what we have. Now, Malibu got us this, and this is also given the clue to the next deck because I have the tarot deck that goes with this quilting deck. So we'll use that next. But let's go through this round before we even open that. What do we have to add to this energy in the tri? Oh, look at the back of this deck. I can't with Spirit. I mean, I can, but whoa. It's all butterflies, bro. We were just talking about this person is busting out of the cocoon and they're going to finally be able to fly. And you're here to be a part of that process. And the back of this card is all the butterflies. So many butterflies. So it's like, this looks like a whole collective energy. The other side of the table looks like an assortment of people because there's so many butterflies here. So whether you're having this experience with one individual or whether it's a series of people that you come through your life, some of you having a large group interaction where you affect many at once, it's whether they come 1 by 1 or 10 by 10, it doesn't matter. You're affecting a lot of people in this energy in a beautiful way as they're all ready to bust out of their cocoon. Thank you. Yes, because the Spirit has given me the message before and they're saying it again. Like, Mel, when we put somebody in your life, that's because they're a leader. In some form or fashion, they are a leader. And that's why they've been brought to you. See, Spirit showed me that before. Like whether you're a leader in your family or in your office or at your school or at your store or whatever it is, you're a leader. And, you know, if you've got it, if you've got the divine messages, the soul codes, the DNA upgrades in yourself, then everywhere you go, you take that with you. It's like tribe each has their own collective of individuals that you are here, that you've got the perfect experiences, you've got the perfect energy, and you've got the perfect light codes and DNA upgrades that these ones need, right? So because the Choose Friends Wisely card is here, it's also highlighting the fact that like you have to make sure that you don't give that away in a place that it's not being respected. Because there's ones here who are ready to bust out of their cocoon. Those are the ones you should be focused upon. Ones who are actually ready for more, right? And willing participants in that. Because the busting out of the cocoon happens by the one who was in the cocoon. It's not like, tribe, you ain't going over here and performing surgery to get the butterfly out of the cocoon. It wouldn't survive long anyways had you done that. But it's like, I see you, tribe, observing ones who are busting out of their cocoon. I do. So let's see what we have on tribe side of the energy. It's the melodic medley. Melodic medley. Listen to uplifting music to harmonize your emotions and align with life's natural rhythms. Harmonious quilt work. Tribe, this is again talking about your frequency. It's talking about your vibration. And somebody really likes Toni Braxton's Spanish guitar song. That, I don't even know that song to even begin to sing it to you. But I heard Spanish guitar. It's a Toni Braxton song. If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of a sad beat too. Okay, fine, I'll look it up. Lord of mercy, why do I gotta do this? Let me look it up. Why I gotta do this? Because they said so. Okay, fine. Spanish guitar, Toni Braxton. It says a smoky room, a small cafe. They come to hear you play and drink and dance the night away. I sit out in the crowd and close my eyes, dream your mind, but you don't know. You don't even know that I am here. I wish that I was in your arms like that Spanish guitar and you would play me through the night till the dawn. I wish you'd hold me in your arms like that Spanish guitar all night long, all night long. I'd be your song, I'd be your song. Steal my heart with every note you play. I pray you'll look my way and hold me to your heart someday. I long to be the one that you caress with a tenderness. And you don't even know that I exist. Okay. Interesting. It looks like the rest of it is pretty much on repeat. So we'll leave that there. There's something in those lyrics. Is this tribe? I hear that okay, thank you. Yeah, I hear that the frequency that you carry, the vibration that you hold, causes other people really to want you to hold them or hold on to their energy or want them to. It causes them to desire to sustain in your energy field. You bring a beautiful melody, a beautiful frequency, a beautiful tone to the experience. Show me the other side of the table, please, and thank you. Who or what do we have on the other side of the table? Who or what's on the other side of the table? So thankful and grateful for this message. No, that's not it. Oh, there it is. It says graceful connections. Graceful connections. The one that came out with it will go there. It says, foster meaningful relationships by actively listening and sharing, enhancing mutual respect and understanding. Button craft connections. They're using twisted paper. They make twisted paper art in here. That's really fun. That kind of low-key, that makes me want to do some twisted paper art. Oh my gosh. Like, I could see myself really enjoying that with my grandchildren. My grandsons come over for the weekend. Okay. So first off, this person, although they're prickly, like one of the things that they notice your frequency, right? And what you notice with them, it really looks up the idea that even where they're at, you can still appreciate them, and you can see purpose in the connection, and you can see reason. You can see reason and grace for this person. It's like, I get why you're so freaking prickly. You've been through hell and back. Oh my gosh. Come here, baby. Let me hold you for a minute. It feels like that. Yeah. This is feeling like you see a really awesome person in front of you. You can see okay. So tribe, this is one of the things. So you want to be careful with this too, because the fact that tribe, that you're so spiritually sensitive and in tune, and you can confirm this for me in the comments, but you have in the past made made an experience for yourself where you were so focused on the potential you could see in a person that you got yourself caught up, right? So at some point you had to realize, like, I can't be falling in love with their potential. I got to see who they actually are. Well, in this experience, the way it's coming through was, not only do you see this person's potential, but you also are able to see that they're trying to bust out of the cocoon on their own. You're like, oh, I'll stand here and cheer you on. I not only can see your potential, I can see that you're a butterfly in the sky, but I can see that you're doing what you can to bust out of your own cocoon. I see you doing the self-alignment. Although you're prickly, you're doing the self-alignment as well. It's like if any of that formula was missing, it's like, okay, never mind. I'm going to keep on. I'm just going to walk on. I'm walking off on this. But no, in this experience, you can see that somebody is, although they're prickly, of course they're prickly. They're at a delicate phase of life and evolution here. But they are not prickly to you so much as they are prickly to other people that they know are not conducive. Why are they not prickly to you? Because you come through with that frequency, which is like a fucking cheerleader saying, yeah, go ahead, baby. You got this. Fuck that cocoon up. Come on out of there. I'm waiting here for you type of shit. Okay. It's interesting. You're like a huge cheerleader. But the thing of it is, I'm getting like, you don't have to do so much. This is not so much about doing. This is about, tribe, how you're being. I mean, this is so much about how you're being, tribe. Let's go to the connection here. What do we have in the connection? Is guided by purpose. Revisit your life goals and values, ensuring your choices align with your true purpose. It's quilted wisdom. And it's a North Star image. And it looks like there's the target. On target. It's like a directional. It's like a compass. It's like, this connection was meant to be. It's part of a huge confirmation for this person that they're right where they need to be. It's a huge confirmation for you that you're right where you need to be. And also for you, tribe, because you can see so much resonance with this person as to where they're at in comparison to who you had been before you were whole. And because you know what it took and what it looked like when you actually stopped being expecting somebody else to do it for you and you started doing the shit yourself and actually making progress. You know what that looks like because you've lived that and you've been that. So you're able to identify it in this other or in these others. When you see them doing it, you're like, oh, they're actually doing this shit. They ain't just talking about it, they're being about it. Spirit saying, yeah, and at this point we can see that it is time to turn upright the card of healthy self-esteem for them, because they're at a place where you're seeing that they are releasing repetitive patterns that bind, limit, and restrict their growth and evolution. They're actually letting go of it now. And how perfect is that? Well, as we have the illustration of a cocoon coming out over here, and we have the breaking the patterns that bind. If there's not if the cocoon isn't a perfect illustration of binding, limiting, and restriction, I don't know what is. And we know that they're busting through because, again, in this Holly image, like they needed that prickliness to bust through, and we can see the streamlining of their energy to focus it on a breakthrough. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're not talking about your spiteful, bitter, and hurt ex in this energy. Just so you know, in case you were wondering, that's not who we're talking about here. This feels like a new person in your experience. This feels like somebody that, you know, if you know them already, it hasn't been that long. This looks like somebody who, if you just met them recently, like it's almost like they're going through a major life transition at the time that you meet them. This looks like somebody who, it's like the timing is everything in this connection. So there's purpose in this. You and this person getting confirmation from one another that you're on your path, that you are living in your purpose, that you're right where you need to be, and you're finding this beautiful place of alignment with yourself, which allows for the beautiful place of alignment with one another. In the what you need to know position, we have celebrating diversity. It says attend cultural events to broaden your horizons and deepen your understanding of inclusivity with button craft connections. Okay. This person is different than you. Although there are some similarities, this person is different than you. And in so many ways, this person is different than others you have known. Even if there's a similar appearance or some similarities, there are very significant differences in the actions that, I'm not sure if this is actually yellow, but in my eyes, with my colorblind ass, this looks yellow, this ring here, and this ring here. And they're saying, that's being highlighted for me. Like this person, their actions are different. Regardless of what similarities to your past and others you've known, there's something in the way this person carries himself that is different, right? Yeah, there's definitely something different in the way that they behave. Yeah. There's like these two people I know who are so very similar in appearance. And one of them Bold-faced liar all the time, just bold-faced lying, likes to cheat, play games, mind games, head games, and bullshit all the time. The other person, although very similar in appearance to the first person, is very transparent, very forthcoming with information without even being asked, with no prying necessary. This other person looks like this, right? This other person looks like this. This other person looks like somebody who is moving beyond the pain, the struggle, and the difficulty, and acting differently, rather than repeating the painful patterns and the negative habits. This person is doing things differently. And tribe, you have an ability to identify that. Yeah. Let's see the guidance position for the tribe, please, and thank you. What do we have in the guidance? When these things happen, when we have these close personal relationships that we value so much, right? I mean, this is what we hope for them to do. This is what we wish they would do, that they would move through these changes with grace. It doesn't always happen. And so in this experience, it's beautiful that in this one, somebody is doing things in a new way, in a different way. It's like you've seen these patterns before, right? You've seen these patterns before. We can't decide what others do and how they respond to life. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to see somebody who is choosing a higher path for themselves. It says enchanting patchwork. Cultivate a deep sense of appreciation for diversity by actively engaging with different cultures and perspectives. Harmonious quilt work. Remember that you are an agent of harmony. Also, side point message, there's something about hot air balloons. When I looked at these images, I saw a bunch of hot air balloons. Okay. So hot air balloons proving significant for somebody right now. What's interesting also is that the Buttoncraft Connections matches the card on the other side of the table. The harmonious quilt work in the guidance matches the card on your side of the table, tribe. So this is saying, remember who you are, and that all things come together for beauty. I heard all good things. All good things. Things will come to light. More things will come to light. It's okay for somebody to be different than you. I'm hearing life is to be made of all sorts of different types of experiences. It was not meant to be one thing over and over again. I mean, unless you need the repetitive experience to become aware that there's more available for you here. I hear, unless you need that experience to become aware that there's more available for you here. Let's check the bottom of the deck here. It's serene stitches. Look at the hummingbird. How beautiful. It says, practice mindfulness techniques to achieve a tranquil state of mind and emotional well-being. It's again harmonious quilt work, which matches the card on tribe side of the energy. Tribe, you have ability to maneuver differently, just like the hummingbird maneuvers differently. Has a lot to do with the beat of your heart, as it does with the hummingbird. I hear there's a lot of things in man-made technology that would mimic what you do, but it's not the natural that it is with you. Okay. Man-made versus natural. They're showing me a helicopter, which was designed after the navigation methods of the hummingbird, is one thing that I have somewhere in my bank of information. Where I got it from, can't tell you. You want to research it? Go ahead. But tribe, you've done this. You practiced mindfulness. You know techniques. You know about being a peaceful person and coming from the heart. And that's one of the reasons that this whole experience is unfolding the way it is, right? Because there's something new being birthed through this other person. They're becoming a new creature. And tribe, there's a reason for your connection with this person at this perfect time. I do see, like, with that 5 of diamonds in the center that was giving the energy of the Hierophant, like you have a level of mastery. There's things that you can teach this person. So some of you, this person is in your life more in a teacher-student capacity. But that can equal all sorts of human relationship styles and types. But let's go ahead and get into the Lumicella Spiritual Crafting Tarot deck. That is a companion that Malibu also sent with the Togetherness Quilt deck. But let's see what else we have. Please and thank you, Spirit, for the tribe of love and peace and happiness, for their highest, lightest, and brightest good, for their overall love, peace, health, wealth, and happiness. Thank you for guiding our beautiful tribe with clarity, simplicity, and easy flowing information that most benefits them at this time in this experience. Show me tribe's energy, please, and thank you. What do we have for the tribe? So they're just guiding that once we pull off the top, we can rest the shuffling and keep pulling off the top. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. T, I love you. I love that you have decks that are on my Amazon list. I just saw that in the comments. All right, on tribe side, what do we have? We have the Page of Swords, and it says truth. You know the truth, baby. We have this person at their sewing machine. They've got all different sizes and colors of bobbins with thread all ready to go. All ready. Everything's ready to go. You got the information. They got questions. You've got answers. You got all the tools necessary. And this card is giving the energy of listening. Even the body language of the character on the card. It's like, oh, okay, I hear you. It's like you have that capacity to hold your truth and hear someone else's truth. Interesting. I also hear that you have the ability to ask meaningful questions that are helpful on this path of self-discovery and self-awareness, not only for yourself, but for another, right? Okay. Let's see on the other side of the table. What's the energy? The other side of the table is coming through with the Knight of Wands. Courage. They're like, they've got a bunch of empty bobbins. I'm looking at their bobbins, and their bobbins look empty. And it's interesting because they've got all the buttons on their jacket, and then from the other deck, they got the button craft connection, right? So it's like this person's like, I'm preparing to do some things. I am definitely preparing to do some things. Okay. So this with courage, it's like it's definitely going to take courage to charter a new path, to go down a new road, to cut into new territory, unknown territories for this person. This is unknown territory for this person. What this person is doing, they have not done before. They're finally ready for more. And, they're in the cocoon phase. They're mustering the courage that's required to get them through this process. So that's fantastic. In the connection, what do we have? Queen of Pentacles energy, nurturing. And look, she's got buttons too. And she's got extra buttons. Baby, do you need some more buttons? I got extra buttons for you. You need some more pieces to the puzzle? I've got more information. I can help you with that. I've done this before. Let me give you a hand. What can I do? Oh, I have tools. I've got tools that you might need. Okay, I've got tools that you might need. So this connection is actually giving this person more buttons. The buttons are coming through like, they're looking like Girl Scout patches type of thing. Girl Scout badges. You get the badges when you complete certain tasks, right? This person is in a phase where it's like it's time to level up. They're giving me a belt ceremony and a martial arts dojo. Okay. And this connection has something for them. It's on purpose. The divine is involved in this connection coming together. I hear you have plenty of evidence of that. There are healing waters here. This relationship is going to present warmth, a kindness, camaraderie that penetrates deeper than has happened in the past. It's going to enable ones to replace stress with more balance. And I mean, if you look at this lady's face, she looks inquisitive but kind. She looks patient but excited all at once. It's very welcoming energy that she presents on her face. Very warm, very grandma vibes, right? Grandma vibes for real. That's what this connection is meant to feel like. That's what this connection does feel like. I hear on both sides. So whether you're, you know, I just feel like you're looking at this person fondly, thinking, "Oh man, that's a challenging place that you're at. I've been there. I know the challenge you're going through. Let me just hold space for your success." I hear, "Let me just hold space for your success." Okay. In what you need to know, the Queen of Swords, and she presents wisdom. The wisdom that you have, she's got all the threads connected around her, and it's showing the wisdom that you have is going to be like the thread that this person needs to put some thread on their bobbins. Interesting. I do see that the experiences are not exactly identical that you and this person share, but the outline of them is very similar. So there's a common ground, but there's still some different details. I heard, but that's okay, because the wisdom that tribe Queen of Swords, she's a speaker, she's a listener, right? She's a communicator. This is a personal communication that has a lot of wisdom in it. You can communicate your personal experiences and stuff to share wisdom. And you can also hear their personal communications and see things about their experience. It's like you're able to deduce facts, read between the lines, hear what's being said and what's not being said. And it's like you become aware of things. There's differences, but those differences are not so vast that there's still not a blending that happens here. A blending is the way the word is coming out. Okay. Again, they're saying, yeah, there's wisdom in your spirit, in your DNA, in your soul that is shared with this person because they're ready for it now. And it's like they're showing me that it's prime time. They give me the phrase prime time, that you should arrive at this point because it's in full blossom. They're showing me the graceful connections with all these blossoms on the tree. This person is in full blossom. Now's the time to come in with the wisdom that you share. If these buds were just buds and they weren't blossoms, then, you know, it wouldn't have been that divine time that you should come in with the wisdom that you have to share. It's prime time now because they're in blossom. They are in blossom. So now it's time. Let's go to the guidance. And it's the King of Swords, and it says discernment. So we take the Queen of Swords, we level it up to the King of Swords energy. So tribe, one thing I see here is in your energy you came out is the Page of Swords. And what you need to know is the Queen of Swords and where it's headed, and the guidance position is the King of Swords. I see like right now you're more listening, observing, taking it all in, right? Allowing this person to do what they need to do at the place where they're at, and presenting some nurturing, comfort. Hey, you got this. I've been there. I've done this. You'll get through this too. Soon there's going to be some deeper conversation. Higher levels of conversation are going to be coming through. I even see more conversation happening. I see more interaction, more time shared together, pondering things, discussing things, sharing ideas. But I also see that what's going to be coming up is as this person comes out of their cocoon, they're going to be like, oh my God, I have wings. I can fly, right? And I see tribe, like, let's say you're a mature butterfly. You've been flying for some time. This person just got their wings. And so they're discovering their wings. Well, I see, like, tribe, you're going to be like, yeah. It's so fun when you fly this way. And did you know you could do this trick and that trick with your wings? Like you can fly this way and that way. These are all the tricks you can do. You can do these types of whirly bobs and swirly bobs with your wings. But also you want to be careful of power lines. You want to be careful of bug lights. You want to be careful of, all these other things that this person maybe is not aware of as they're in this new state of being. And tribe, you have some level of awareness of it. And I see that that's part of the purpose of this connection. It's like, now that you can fly, these are the things you need to be aware of. See, when you were on the ground, crawling around on your belly as a caterpillar, you didn't have to worry about the bug lights. People don't tend to put those on the ground. They hang them in the sky. And boy, that light, that blue light they have is very captivating. Oh boy, it'll draw you in. When you see that blue light, be careful, because otherwise it's buzz and now you get electrocuted. Okay, false lights. Be careful with the false lights, right? There's guidance here. Anywhere where somebody's off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, it's like, okay, well, have fun, but give me a call if you need somebody to talk you through. I've been to see the wizard. I've been to see the wizard before. Like, I went on the whole journey, got my ruby slippers, found that there was no place like home. But by all means, go have the journey. Do your walkabout, babe. Go do your walkabout. And give me a call, if you meet any crazy characters while you're walking the yellow brick road. Yeah, it's yellow, bro. The brick road is yellow. That's the clue I can give you right now. But, if you're on the brick road and you meet some characters, you want to know references, it might be somebody I know. Give me a call, So you could be like this person's secret weapon. You could be their inside information person, having had the experience of being where they've been. You got clues, you've got insights, about the fucking flying monkeys and the poppy fields and all that shit. Look, if you ever run into the red poppy fields, be careful, right? Also, them flying monkeys, you got to get into, take shelter. Don't let them see you, because they will attack you in a swarm type of shit, right? You got information. And I see that that's going to be part of it. Because this person is going to be in new territory. They were previously hugging the ground. Now they're going to be flying in the skies. That presents so much more opportunity and so much more other things. Even dangers, right? Even dangers can be there, right? As there's so much more. So much more. Yeah. Side point message, personally, for Mel. Anybody in Las Vegas, come get your hands and feet done, hands and or feet done. Mel has been looking for more clientele. And, don't worry so much about the money. Bring what you got. She's going to take care of you. Hit her up if you're in Vegas, because she wants more nail stuff to do. Back to the message at the bottom of the deck. What do we have? The Page of Cups, curiosity. She's giving me Where's Waldo vibes with that hat. I'm seeing Where's Waldo vibes. I'm getting, you've been hidden in plain sight. You really blend in well with the environment. We got that earlier with the Queen of Clubs energy that came out. I heard you're the master of disguise. You remember that old movie? That thing was freaking hilarious. That thing was, I might need to watch that again. I just remember, this is so stupid funny. But yeah, it's giving me master of disguise energy, where it's like you can blend into so many environments and you just look like a regular whatever. But it's only until people are able to come to a certain level of intimacy, of closeness with you, to any of these things, where they'll get to know more. They'll get to know you more. And you'll reveal, thank you. You only reveal more of yourself as the path leads there. Other than that, so many will never know you to the depth and profundity of which you exist. They'll never know all your nuances, your quirks, and your beautiful treasures. It's not for everybody. So you just sit there, smile, keep your mouth shut until it's time for you to speak. It's looking like there's going to be a time for you to speak here, for sure. That's come through very clearly. But, I'm just over here minding my business in my colorful world. Don't look at me. I'm just kind of Yeah, I'm just kind of over here. And that's pretty much the way you exist. You exist there in the physical reality. So, people could overlook you all the fucking time. It's like I like to wear my clothes the way I do, baggy jeans, tank tops and stuff. And people have their perception of what they think I am. I can't tell you how many times there's this dude that been hanging out outside my nail salon. Every time he sees me, there go the gangster, and I just laugh to myself. I'm like, bro, you don't even know. But they have this perception based off their judgments and their ideas and where they're at. That dude looks at me and all he sees is white tank tops and baggy jeans. He don't see the crystals. He don't see my aura. He don't see my energy. He sees my braids. So automatically he sees gangster. Fine. If that's what you see what you see. But let other people that take time to talk, to actually get to know you, to actually show up in a way that you want to get to know them too, which is what this person is somehow doing. Maybe they're being courageous enough to approach, right? Hey, I'm seeing a conversation. Hey, I just seem like you've got all that ribbon sitting around you, and I've got all these bobbins, and I was wondering about those ribbons, and do you think those ribbons could possibly go on these bobbins that I've got? and I see Tribe, like, you're giggling like, well, these ribbons are a little bit too thick for your bobbins. But I remember when I was working with the thread. I remember when I was working with the thread. Well, now I work with ribbons. But to get these ribbons, I had to work with thread. Message. It's amazing the way these messages channel through. Like, Spirit always has me beside myself with the way the information comes through. It's like, hey, I noticed you sitting here and you're surrounded by all these colorful ribbons. How'd you get all those ribbons? See, my bobbins are empty. I've secured all these buttons. I've got all my badges, right? But I just feel like I really like your ribbons. How the hell do you get all those ribbons? Well, first you got to get some thread on your bobbins, because in order to make ribbons, you've got to have some thread on your bobbin. And then you need material to work with. Interestingly enough, I hear Tribe saying, yeah, life is going to give you the material, but you've got to thread it all together to make the ribbon. And then before you know it, you'll have spools and spools of ribbon like I do. So that is saying two things. One, this person has a lot of the tools that they need to get to this point. They've got skills. They got skills they need for the next point of their journey. There's some material that they haven't realized they had, and they're going to have to put that material together. The material, the experiences of life is the material that, because they're showing me, like, to make ribbon in this, like, there's these ribbons particularly, not all ribbons. These ribbons look like pieces of material stitched together, sewn down into a tube and flipped around to create a ribbon. That's what it's looking like to me. These don't look like satin that's been cut into strips and sealed on the edges or sewn together on the edges. This looks like somebody made tubes out of material, flipped them inside out and pressed them with an iron. That's what it looks like. Which lets me know that, Tribe, in your energy, this is all happening. And it's extremely confirming of where you've been. But in your life, you've had all this material. You realize that all the experiences of life gave you material. You just had to cut it up and create a ribbon so you could use it to decorate and tie things together and put all this stuff together. To do that, you had to find the thread. You had to thread the pieces together. You had to sew it together. Then you had to flip it inside out. See, when you make a ribbon like this, because I've done it before, you're basically taking a piece of material, sewing it into a tube, but you got to do that from the inside. So then you got to take, I often used a ballpoint pen, and you push the end through the entire tube, and you got to thread it all the way through to flip it over. Then you've got to make them nice and flat like they are in this image. You got to press it. You got to get that iron out, put some heat on it. This is all a process. It's a huge process, right? Huge process there. But tribe, you have an ability to see a lot of things. And a lot of people will just dismiss you. And you will let them. But this person had the courage. This person might have even spoke to you first. They might have found you by their curiosity. By their curiosity, they can't. You made somebody curious. They approached with courage. Yeah, I'm hearing courage and curiosity. Courage and curiosity. Interesting the way this is coming through. I don't feel like we're all the way done yet. So I am feeling, y'all know I'm loving working with the real life tarot deck, which I say every time. It's not really a tarot system. It's totally an oracle deck. I'm just saying. But let's see what else we have coming through today to add to our message. Let's get into this. Crazy time. Oh, okay, I can do that. Yeah, they said, can you put those aside for a minute and get some handmade oracles? Absolutely. More than happy to do that. Let me just set this here for a sec so I can grab them. Handmade oracle selection. We'll take this bunch. We'll take that bunch. I'm just kind of digging in and picking. We'll take that bunch and a little bit from this bunch here. Okay. All right, got them. So let's get into the handmade oracles. I have several different handmade oracle decks that I've created, and they're all mixed together. So who knows what we're going to get, but Spirit's like, yeah, do it, do it, do it. Yeah, to all the new ones that have just aligned with us, I'm so thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. Everything happens for a reason when you're ready for it. So, yeah, in this collective, timeless, channeled energy, there's something here for you. If you've joined us midway through, definitely watch this over again. Now, there's going to be several of you. I'm hearing y'all need to watch this 3 times. Why? Because the information coming out is relevant for you. And as I say, you need to hear this 3 times. I look to my right. I see in the comments, hit the 3 dots. Yeah, hit the 3 dots. You need to hear this 3 times. Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do that. It's free to do that. And it's also free to tap the live bell for notifications and put the notifications on your phone, because when I go live, you'll be notified. And we always record live. And we never know how long it's going to be. And we don't ever know what time it's going to be when we go live either. So having those live notifications is definitely very helpful. But we're here to feed your soul. We're here to share what has benefited us and channel these messages through. We give you the complete message here. On this channel, you're never going to hear, yeah, so to hear the rest of the extended message, go over to this site and pay that fee. No, we give it all to you from beginning to end, and at the end of all the lives, you're getting a free yes or no answer to your personal question as well. We just give you from our soul, from our heart. We give you, this is our donation to humanity. This is our contribution to humanity. This is our free gift to humanity. Because, boy, I sure would have been nice if somebody had given this to me when I was in that process. So it's so nice to have it to give. What do we have on the tribe side of the table? Please show me the tribe side of the table. And this one. Ooh. Wow. Lucifer. This is a new creation in the deck. Interesting. Lucifer. Lucifer. Somebody hates hearing that. It says, the series... It asks 3 questions. As we just talked about 3. The series, the energy, the entity. Which is it? So this card was created because I was recently guided to start putting some of the movies and series down on cards, because I get messages when I view things on the television. I get a lot of downloads. And the series Lucifer, I was a little bit leery about watching it in the beginning. Yes, it's on Netflix. So when I first made this card, I was definitely thinking about the series. It's kind of long, kind of corny, kind of sexy, but it addresses a lot of psychological things. It addresses a lot of childhood wounding. It addresses a lot of trauma with our parents. It addresses sibling issues. I mean, so many different things get addressed there. Self-identity issues, right? So this card, when I made it, Spirit said, yeah, add that on there. Is Lucifer the energy? Is it the entity? See, the energy of Lucifer is, shadow energy for real. It's the dark side. there's so much with this Lucifer card also. So here we go, rabbit hole. Y'all ready for the fucking rabbit hole? This is deep, yo. And somehow it's what you need to hear, tribe. Somehow it's what you need to hear for where you're at in your experience. I don't know how long this is going to take. Kind of scared to get into this, but here we go. They talked about in the Bible, in the Garden of Eden, that when the serpent came around, the consuming of the fruit of the tree of good and evil made them self-aware of their nudity, of their shame. In other words, when they were in the Garden of Eden, it was all good. And when they were told not to consume of the fruit of the knowledge of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and we used trees today. I'm just going to show that as well. We brought the tree oracle out today. So they were told not to consume the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The only thing that was added to their consciousness was the awareness of evil, dark, shadow, whichever way you want to call it. But for the purposes of this, we're going to reference the way the Bible talked about it. Evil, right? Because prior to that, it was all good. There was so much innocence. They had no awareness. I mean, it wasn't until after the consuming of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that they covered themselves. The first clothes were made because they suddenly felt shame. Prior to that, they were happy-go-lucky, running around butt-ass naked. Just everything was good, right? At that point in human consciousness, we're going to speak more scientists now, energy, in the sense of once humans became aware of shadow energy, as above, so below. What exists in the below has to have an above counterbalance. It has to be a spiritual equivalent. Remember, as above, so below. Well, below was all good, so there was only good God. Funny how good is God with the double O in it, double potential. I'm just saying. Looks like two eyeballs, right? Now, once that awareness of the shadow aspect became into play on the below, on the physical realm, there had to also be an as above. That's where the energy of Lucifer comes in and was actually created. Now, the Bible tells the story that Lucifer was a fallen angel, that he was outcast by all the other angels. In other words, that's like, let's say you have 10 kids and 9 of your kids get together and kick one of your kids out the house. I mean, the shit has gone down. It's hit the fan. That doesn't always please the parent, though. In most cases, it's not going to please the parent. And in this experience, Lucifer is an energy, and that's what we're talking about. The second thing here, the second question, the energy. Lucifer is the energy of the counterbalance of the shadow awareness that humans carry. When human consciousness went from good, which was singular, into duality and split into light and dark, the dark also had to exist in the spirit realm. Now you have your Lucifer energy. Now, one way to view that Lucifer energy is, because you have to remember that in the Bible, it talks about Lucifer was God's favorite son, closest one, the shiniest, the most decorated. Do you remember hearing ever people say, yeah, God gives its biggest battles to his strongest warriors? If all the angels were there and they kicked out Lucifer, and that's how he became the fallen angel, that's like, I don't want to do that fucking job. Daddy needs somebody to be the counterbalance in the spirit realm for the darkness that humanity is now aware of. We're not doing that. You do it. You're the big brother. You're the one that's a decorated general in God's military. So Lucifer says, fine, I'll go do it. Y'all can kick me out. I'll be the spiritual counterbalance for the darkness that humans have decided to carry. since they want duality, since goodness wasn't enough for them, fine. They want to play in the shadows. I'll go be the spiritual counterbalance for the shadows, because anything in the physical realm must have a spiritual counterbalance. As above, so below. This is universal fucking law. No escaping it. What did that equal for Lucifer? As in, now let's talk entity. I know that's deep and profound, so wrap your head around this. Like I said, some of y'all gonna want to listen to this reading 3 times, okay? Let's discuss Lucifer as an entity. Imagine that you love your parents and you be right next to their side. Whatever they need, you're right there. Whatever you need, they're right there. You live in the house with them. It's a beautiful life. And then something happens and they need to send somebody as far the fuck away from you, or away from themselves as they can. And all your little brothers and sisters say, no, I'm not going. I'm staying with mom and dad. This is the best place to be. We're not leaving. You do it. You've been here longer. You go. You have more skills. You're a better warrior. You go. I don't want to go. Fine. I'll go. I'm the eldest brother. I'm the eldest sister. I'll go. So what Lucifer do? Removed himself as far as could be from the presence of the divine. The all that is. The God of the Bible, right? Could you imagine, after an eternity of being right next to God, for sake of this discussion? Remember, we're talking about energies, and then now, because humans want to play this duality experience, now you are completely removed as far as possible from God's love, from what God is, in order to serve a role that nobody else wants to fucking fulfill. And that goes back to the series. Lucifer was like, why does everybody always want to blame everything on the devil? I just punish people for what the fuck they did. It's not my fault. I don't make them choose. I just see what they're all about, okay? Lucifer's like, everybody always says the devil made me do it. I didn't make them do anything. They made their choices. But he had a task to do. He was tired of being the ruler of hell. He left. He ran away from hell. He said, fuck this, I'm going to LA, in the series, right? But in the human consciousness experience, Lucifer is as far away removed from what Lucifer actually is. Lucifer had to detach from God's love and remove itself away in order to be the spiritual counterbalance for the shadow energy that humans decided they wanted to investigate. We want to play in the energy of the shadow. Let's do it. Okay, cool. And it's reminding me of that song. What is it called? Sympathy for the Devil, I think. Yeah. It's just the name of it is reminding me of that. One of the things that I've seen is years ago, probably about 6 years ago now, I kept hearing something. It's time to reconcile the devil back into the family. The evil. Devil. The evil. The evil. Devil. Lucifer. How do you reconcile it back into the family? Well, tribe, if Lucifer is an energy, and if it's the energy of shadow, each and every one of us that integrates our own shadow doesn't any longer require the shadow counterbalance. We're not the reason that the evil must exist, as we fully integrate our shadow, own our shadow, and know how to use it in a yin-yang fashion, which we've discussed many times here. As humanity more and more integrates their shadow aspects and reclaims the whole of themselves and becomes whole persons, there will not exist a need for the spiritual counterbalance of the shadow. But as long as we got a bunch of half people running around here, that spiritual counterbalance will be very, very necessary. So this is why the Lucifer card is coming out on your side of the table. Because, here you are, moving back into singularity in your energy, because you are your own counterbalance. You have both shadow and light aspects. So many people are so excited to run around talking about being a light worker, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if they're negating the shadow aspects, if they haven't fully integrated, and if those aren't effectively, masterfully used tools in their toolbox, then they're still shortchanging themselves. And by doing such, they actually have a strong need for a strong counterbalance. Because if you're only light in this dualistic reality, the shadow must also exist. And if you're not integrating that into yourself, then it's externally held. And there's a Lucifer for that. Okay. Whew, that was a lot. Let's go over here to the other side of the table. What do we have? That was a lot. Yo, that was a lot. All right. Other side of the table. We have an empowering questions card coming out. Yeah, it says triggered much. Whoo, triggered much. Okay. Tribe. Is that what's happening here? Because Lucifer equals the devil card energy. And, you know, when the devil card shows up, somebody is triggered. You're triggering something. It up until this point, and it may still be, but it seems like you're triggering them in a beautiful way. But let's keep going and see what else we get. That could develop. Maybe the ugly is going to bring out the beauty. I don't know, but let me see in the connection what do we have. This person on the other side of the table, there's some triggers there. In this connection, we have the feels series coming out. So this is about the feels. Infatuation. Okay, there's attraction here. That's in very much in alignment with the way we were feeling this from the jump anyhow. It was a very attractive energy that was being shared. Let's see what tribe, what do you need to know? Infatuation. Okay, another feels card and what you need to know. Peaceful. It feels peaceful. Didn't I talk about you were coming in to be nurturing and welcoming and oh look at this, oh I know where you're at. There's peace in this connection. It's triggered is it that this person is so used to fucking chaos and what did it say? It said pain. They're used to pain, suffering, and personal struggle that they're triggered by the peace that you offer. Oh Lord, they feel when they're around you. I mean, when people's comfort zone is so fucking toxic, bro, the peace would be triggering as fuck. This person has a toxic comfort zone. So here you come bringing peace. Oh my God, I don't know what to do with that. It's going to trigger them. But, you know, they're at this transitional phase. So I'm hearing they're more open-minded now, ready for something different. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, and so tribe, there's a strong message in that. I had to realize that, like, when I want to cut and run, when I want to get angry, when I want to freak out, I had to become very consciously aware that, oh, fuck, is this my toxic comfort zone again? I would literally stop and ask myself that question. And more times than I wish to care for, it said yes, absolutely yes. So I would stop. I wouldn't run, and I would sit with the discomfort. Remembering that the trigger is happening because it's a new energy. It's an energy you hadn't felt before. That's why it feels triggering. If you knew it, it would be in your comfort zone. It would be familiar. If where you're coming from is oh so peaceful, happy, it's exactly what you want, then avoid that which triggers you every time without a doubt because, you know, you got it good. I don't know anybody like that. In my entire life, I met one person who actually said, yeah, my childhood was really fantastic. You know, I grew up financially stable, both of my parents. She's like, yeah, it was pretty much a very, you know, Huxtable type of household in her growing up. She said, but yeah, as I got older, you know, then I had to go out in the world. And apparently then she had all her hard knocks. She went out and found treacherous lovers and drugs and street life and lost a fortune and discovered poverty and lack and limitation and struggle and strife that she had never known before. I've only met one person like that. Everybody else comes from that shit and we're like, fuck that. I want peace. And so with us, who come from the fucking struggle, we have to remember that if it feels comfortable to us, especially if we're making new choices, which is where this person is, right? The comfort that they feel in the struggle is going to be evident in new experiences as they move forward. And for this person whose comfort and used to the struggle, their comfort zone filled with struggle and pain and all the shit that it talked about, the peace is going to trigger the fuck out of them. The calm, the easiness, the naturalness is going to trigger the fuck out of them, because their parasympathetic nervous system is not tuned to that. Their synaptic patterns don't know that. Their auric field hasn't experienced this energy before. So it's going to trigger them. It could make them want to cut and run. But I don't see that happening in this experience at all. So let's go to our guidance position for the tribe. What do we have? As we dig deep in every reading, we dig deep, baby. There ain't no, I mean, yeah, we scratch, we go through the surface to get what's beneath, right? We go through these energies like with the fucking backhoe, babe. We take the shit down to the dirt. What do we have? Oh, we didn't put a title for which collective of cards this is, but let's see what it says. Oh, tribe, praise be in everything I see. That's the guidance. Praise be in everything I see. This is very much the energy of accept all, reject none. This is full integration mode. This is, I can see the divine in all things. Even Lucifer. I heard even Lucifer. I can see the divine in all things. The date November 29th is a significant date for somebody. Also, the date of April 18th, specifically 2026, is significant for somebody. The time 11:29 is significant for somebody. I made this card on April 18th, 2026 at 11:29 a.m. But praise be in everything I see. November 29th, something magical is going to happen in this connection for somebody here. If you put that down on your calendar, you reference this reading, you send yourself a link, and you come back to comment on it, I'm going to sit here and you're going to blow my motherfucking mind. I'm just saying. That'd be awesome. What's at the bottom of the deck here, tribe? Ah, I love this. I love this. I love every time this card comes out. I wish I had put the day and time on it. This came out overnight. I was laying down to sleep, and as I was resting my head, I had to text it to my brother, my gas brother, so I guess I could find the date and time if I scroll back through the text. That's a good idea. But it came through as a personal download, and it was so profound. The statement meant so much to me. I'm like, let me text my gas brother, and then we'll remember to talk about it later. It was always observed in you, yet the journey was always the prerequisite to the attainment. There was never a question about who you were and your capacity to integrate energies and be a whole person. Like, it was seen in you from the jump. But the process was necessary. Anybody to receive the position that you have had to go through the process. Even if we could see that, oh, you're qualified. And when this card comes up in a reading, I always relate, like, I started doing acrylic on myself, both left and right-handed, when I was 12. When I went to nail school to get a license so I could legally practice my career and end up opening the business I've been in for almost 20 years now, I already knew how to do nails better than the teachers at the school and most of the people in the salon. But I would not be able to be in my official position had I not gone through the process of getting the license and getting that certification. Likewise, tribe, you had these abilities before you ever got certified, but you had to get certified. You had to get that spiritual degree on the wall, baby, so you could hold this spiritual position. And what spiritual position? It looks like you're holding the spiritual position of the Hierophant. You're the teacher. In this experience, you are the teacher. You went through the process that was necessary to get you here. Even though you already knew how to do these things, the process was necessary. And during that process, your abilities just became even more and more refined. You just got better. You were already top of the class before the class even began. But by the time class ended, you had surpassed everyone in the field and gone even further than it was known that anybody could go, is the way it's coming through. And I'm just noticing Dominic's name in the fucking comment section right now. I love you, mijo. My newest angel in my tribe. Let's see what we have on the tribe side using the real life oracle deck. I'm going to call it an oracle deck, but yes. What do we have for the tribe? Please and thank you. Yeah, it's not yet 2 months since my nephew's son transitioned to the spirit realm and unalived himself. And oh my God, you guys, like legit, it's still affecting me, and it's affected my family. It's affecting my relationship. I mean, as a result, I feel like it was a catalyst for where I'm at right now in my family. There's a lot of broken energy, but I'm just going to continue to be where I'm at and give people a space to be where they're at. So here we go. What do we have for the tribe? Oh, we have the meat on a hook. Meat on a hook. Okay, let's get some more. Meat on a hook with anxiety and these chewed up fingernails, which is disgusting. Keep your fingers out of your mouth. That's gross. What else? The ghost. And the pill box. Okay. Tribe, on your side of the energy, I just feel like you had to realize and of a lot of who you were, and you can see in somebody else, like they're in this place of a process where they are transitioning and they're having a lot of feelings about this place where they're feeling hung up. This meat on a hook today is looking like the cocoon that they're in. Okay? It's looking like the cocoon that they're in. And that, you know, these fingernails are looking like the bits of the cocoon. It's like, I don't think the cocoon, if I remember seeing a cocoon when I was a young child, when I was a very single digit age child, I remember seeing a cocoon, and it wasn't like something that was so crusty that would come off in chunks like that, but that's the way I'm seeing it, right? Also, this meat on a hook is looking like the part of the phase between the transition from caterpillar to butterfly where they've been broke down into mush. They've been broke down into mush in order to be reconstructed in a new form. And it's like, I see as you're watching, I mean, this can make you nervous. It's like, oh my God. It's like biting your fingernails. Like, oh my God, are they about to break through? Did they got their wings yet? Like, oh my gosh, I wonder what's going to happen next. Oh, okay. And then the ghost in the pill box here. The ghost, I can't lie because it was just brought up, the whole energy of my nephew and his unaliving of himself recently. So, you know, it was by no, everything that comes out in a live, during the live, is significant to the message somehow. And so, you know, this transition. So whatever the transition point was in your life, tribe, whether it was somebody's unaliving or a transition that they went through, affecting your situation, right? From your side of the table. A lot of you, this is like who you were. Now the pill box is giving me, it's all a placebo. It's a placebo effect, right? So there's this energy as you're watching and observing somebody who is in this phase of transition where they're being made into a new person. It's like you're on pins and needles. Can't wait to see how this is going to unfold, because what's happening is the death of the ego. What's happening is the death of the placebo, the death of the non-awareness of the placebo. There is a change being in somebody's makeup, somebody's chemistry, somebody's mentality, their intellectual, their spiritual, the way that they work is changing, and you're just like on pins and needles, like, oh my God, how's this going to unfold? What are they going to do next? Are they getting it? Are they about to bust out? I wonder if today is the day that they're going to bust out of the cocoon. And what I do remember about a cocoon is it's actually kind of transparent. It's like semi-transparent, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's like this person is in a stage of mush right now, is the way I'm seeing the meat on a hook today. It was interesting. It's speaking differently than it has in our previous readings. As you know, I'm still getting to know this deck. Let's go over to the other side of the table, and we're just going to keep pulling right off of the top. What do we have on the other side of the table, Spirit? Moving back in. And that's coming out with the screenplay. We also have, the frozen dinner. My friend said that looks like a jailhouse platter. It looks like a frozen dinner to me. And the Amazon packages. Okay. Interesting. The way I'm seeing this here, this person, this is like, okay, I know the card says moving back in, but it's like they had to bring, this is showing again the cocoon energy, right? This is a process that had to happen where there's the unpacking of what was. So this person has had to spiritually, intellectually unpack everything that was. And it's no mistake that the screenplay card is sitting right on top of that Mona Lisa Mind Makeover card, where they release all the patterns that bind, limit, and restrict their growth and evolution. This is a part of the play of life. If life is a stage and we're all just characters on it, meant to be here for a while and then leave the stage, right? Well, they're up. It's their scene. It's their scene now. And during their scene, there's the unpacking of everything that they were in order to receive the new package. All these new packages. And what's more is, as they're unpacking, there's 4 big boxes. This is like, let's get all this shit out of the storage room, which is fitting with I think it was the last reading we did, or the reading prior to that. It's like cleaning out your space, getting rid of all the shit, right? You got to make space. If you got new stuff coming in, you got to get rid of the old living room set. If you're getting a new living room set, you might want to do it before you shows up. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole living room set. Where's it going to be sitting at? You're going to put your new living room set outside on the lawn while you are moving the old one out? No, you prepare ahead of time. This person has removed a lot of stuff from their storage, of their mind, of their heart, of their energy field, because it was time for them to play a new role with the screenplay. And there's the turning to mush and breaking down to the core of what they are. It's almost like during this time, they had the sustenance they need. They had enough to make it through this time. Yeah, because they're showing me while the butterfly is being evolved from the caterpillar, it's not like they're eating any external food. I'm hearing, and please, somebody, if you know these to be facts, I've never researched this, but it's coming through that before the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, it consumes enough energy in order to go through that cocoon process, because that cocoon process takes actually and consumes a lot of energy. Right. So it was like the unpacking had to happen. They had just enough energy to consume, and then the new package is delivered. The new body is brought in with the Amazon packages, because that's new, right? The new order. Yeah, new energy brought in. Interesting. Okay. So this person had to unpack their past in order to make room for what's new coming in. In this connection, show me more. We have passports. We're out of here, baby. We are out of here. Let's go. With this infatuation, it's going to take you both to new heights and new territories and new places, new scenery and new experiences, I hear. Infatuation. You both are like, yes, I'm here for it. Okay, because this is a common energy. It's guided by purpose. It's about healing energy. It's about inner balance, and there's teaching in this way. Okay, teaching of these techniques. And we have the mixologist. Okay, today the mixologist is talking about, yeah, you got to take what life gives you and mix up some good shit out of it. It's like dig in your spice cabinet and season that raw meat you are, baby. Put some seasoning on it. It'll taste better. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? The macaroni soggy, the peas all mushed down, the chicken tastes like wood. Okay. So you try to leave by saying that you're full. Yo said, mama, he just being polite. He ain't finished. That's bull. So you bust out the door while the sticky food's steaming. At the moment it's time to leave. Okay. Anyways, whatever. That's the energy. It's a rapper's delight. Okay. Have you ever tried to stomach some food that was bland? Where's your seasonings? The mixologist is coming through like this is about some seasoning in life. Life was never meant to be so bland, filled with all the boring humdrum of pain and suffering and sorrow, which is what this person had experienced. And you're showing them like, baby, life is full of spice. There's all this good stuff. Let's have a drink, you know, type of vibes. Like there's good stuff here. It doesn't all have to be bitters, and it doesn't all have to be work. Like you get to pick and choose what you're putting into this. Okay. Yes, exactly like frozen food. If this person had been accustomed to frozen food, that shit be bland. You better get the salt and the fucking garlic pepper out. Something. If you eating frozen, we don't do that around here. We cook real food with real ingredients. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Okay, let's see someone over here in the connection. The vomiting Cupid. The vomiting Cupid. He's walking away from something. Let me see. The alien. Okay. These two cards are coming through as healing. That's the way these two cards are speaking to me right now. These two cards are coming through to me as healing. It's like anywhere where people had poisoned this, and the alien is looking over there, and the vomiting Cupid is walking this way. It's like as this, I heard, walk this way, talk this way, walk this way. Okay, is that Rum DMC and who was this? It's Run DMC and that rock band. Anyways, walk this way. It's like as this person walks towards you, bro, they're leaving a lot of bullshit behind. This alien is coming through today in a different way than it normally has. It's like people had tried to poison. Yeah, people had tried to poison this person's consciousness through all those negative experiences. But it's like we talked about cleansing and healing waters in the connection as part of the purpose, the guided by purpose through the nurturing, right? And as they leave the environment that poisoned them, their body naturally, because they're an angel, so their body will naturally reject the poisoning. Even part of the poisoning was thinking that they were the only one that had gone through so much or held their beautiful energy through all this fucking bullshit they've been through. They're actually bringing to mind an experience I had. A client come back today, well, yesterday, who I'd only seen her once 2 years ago, but thank goodness I keep good notes on people. We got into a conversation about her child who is heavily bullied at school. Yeah. So that brought up the conversation of how I had been heavily bullied up until my sophomore year in high school when I went through this consciousness shift. Part of this consciousness shift required that I let go of all that victim mentality. And when I tell you it was faking the funk until it became so real that even still today, like I said, people walk up to me and say, yeah, it's a gangster. And I just laugh inside my soul. But there's this energy of all the lack and limitation, all the victimization that this person had consumed in their self-identity is being now rejected. And it was a poisoning to lack and limit this person's consciousness. But they're walking towards you now. They're drawn with this infatuation card. They are drawn. They're ready to go somewhere different with the passport, right? They're vomiting up the bitters. They're vomiting up all the bitter shit from their past. So they're vomiting it up. It goes out the same way it went in, right? When you vomit, oh, yeah, that part. In other words, this person is going to go through a lot of emotional process where they might cry about things that they cried about when it started. They might get angry about things that they got angry about when it got started. Interesting, we said you're able to hold space for truth. Not only your own, but whoever these people are. Because remember, this is a collective people, a collective of people who are meant to come into contact with tribe. It's actually really beautiful. So there's the idea here that through these connections, people are removing, rejecting, expelling and despelling the curses, the poison, the treachery, the victimization modes, the weakness, just all these things that are not their facts. Let me see. Oh, tribe, this alien card just said something different. This alien card is looking like your highest self right now that is standing guard against what it was that had attacked them. It's like, as this person is honest and pure in their intention, and they're actually taking the steps necessary, and you're focused upon this person, your highest self and your spirit team joins up with their spirit team, and they get like this energy of safety in order to go through this experience. This is like, this alien is coming through as your highest self, like a collective of highest selves, angels, ancestors, and guides. This stands as the guard to allow this person to then walk towards tribe, where they are infatuated, they are drawn in, they are magnetized, they are attracted, so that they could go through this purification process. I love the way this works. I love the way the cards speak. I love the way I see the messages in them. Let's keep going. What else do we have in the need to know position for the tribe? We have the LARPer. We also have the microdoser. We also have the atom bomb, the mushroom cloud. Mushroom cloud, atom bomb, awesome, love it. Okay, one more. And the rent-controlled apartment. Okay. Message, I got it so clear. The way I saw that was this. Remember we said life is just life is like a play, and all of us are just actors, and we have our scene, right? We have our scene, we have our role to play. So in this role play, the microdoser is coming through as somebody who is healing their consciousness. Microdosing shrooms has been proven to have profound effects on the human mind in a healing capacity. Thank you. All the world's a stage, and we're just actors on it. Right? So all the world's a stage, and we're just actors on it. Well, in this scene, in the screenplay, it's time for this person to heal their consciousness. Specifically, when I learned about microdosing shrooms, which means you're doing enough shrooms to heal your brain, but not to have the psychological effects. That you're not tripping on shrooms. You barely have any, just a tiny little piece. But what it does is it actually heals post-traumatic stress disorder. It heals the brain from post-traumatic stress disorder. And so here, this person is, what you need to know is this person is in the place of the scene and the screenplay of their life, where it's time for them to heal from post-traumatic stress disorder. Because remember, for them, life was a series of, and I quote, pain, suffering, and personal struggle. So now they're microdosing, whether that's literally or spiritually, to heal their mind and their consciousness from the bullshit. And what's happening as a result, we have this mushroom cloud and the rent-controlled apartment. It's by no accident that these two cards came out together. It's all meant to be, because that rent-controlled apartment is all the cracks in it. It's like, we're taking this shit down. Ideas of lacking limitation. Slums are made, for people who are, and this is not to be cruel or talk shit about nobody, but literally, if anybody's living in a slum, that lets us know that this person is in lacking limitation, a lot of poverty consciousness, and there's probably a lot of other stresses and traumas there that gets them into that state of being. Well, this mushroom cloud is saying, and we just talked about shrooms. It's no mistake that the microdoser card is right there next to the mushroom cloud. It's like, the microdose, whichever way this microdosing is happening, it is causing the awakening in this person's mind. And they're saying the way it's happening in this experience has to do with that cocoon. And so this person is realizing, like, I deserve so much more in this life. They're realizing, like, I don't have to sit up here and put up with this bullshit treatment from people. and I can release the repetitive patterns that bind, limit, and restrict my growth and evolution, and I can grow beyond this experience. This is what's happening in this experience. Now, the other thing that's happening is I said atom bomb with the mushroom cloud, right? And yesterday, here's the energy of 3. I say you need to listen to this reading 3 times, right? I love the way this works. It's so awesome because I said you need to listen to this reading 3 times, and yesterday's reading we talked about speaking to our atoms. If you were not present for yesterday's reading, it got cut off. It came out in 3 parts. The second part stayed live forever. It was wild, but all of it is there. If you hadn't seen it, there's definitely something in that for you. You want to go. We're talking deep mind ability, mental ability, the ability to reprogram your consciousness and your physical vessel in the way that it works. Anytime I've had dreams about home, I know that it has to do with my consciousness. I mean, and in this, the home is being crumbled. So this is showing like this person's old identity is falling apart. And sometimes things need to be broke down to the foundation to be built up in a new way, right? In a lot of the dreams I've had about homes for me, I had dreams where there was a celebration going on in the backyard at the same time where the bulldozer had gone through and picked up the whole living room, scooped up a big scoop out of the living room and flipped it over on the side into the dining room, and there was this big gaping hole in the living room floor. You know, I was having a lot of dreams about this at a time in my life where my consciousness was literally being made over. That's exactly what's happening here. Somebody in this experience tried, whether it is you doing it for yourself and you're rearranging your life because you learned, maybe you just learned that yesterday in live. A lot of you come to every single live that I do, and I freaking love that. I notice your presence. I learn your names and your handles here on YouTube. But maybe you just learned that yesterday, that you can speak to all of your atoms and program them for the consciousness that you choose for yourself. Maybe this is some of you who know that and are now carrying that message forth to others. Like you could be telling your cousin who's going through this phase. You could be telling your support group that you've been visiting, right? You could be mentioning this to the dude on the bus that you always have a chit chat with while y'all are both riding to your jobs because you just happen to get off at the same stop, even though he gets on a bit before you or you do before him. You chit chat every day. You could be talking about this with your coworker. Did you know I heard this reading? I was listening to this girl talking some shit on YouTube. And this crazy girl was saying, and she said you could talk to all your atoms. And what do you know? I try it. I tried it. And this shit is working for me. You know? That reading yesterday was so epic that there was so much that tried to change the flow. We didn't let none of that get in the way. The other thing I want to add, side point message, Spirit is reminding me that, you know, after the reading, you know, I took my time for myself. I went to bed. My sleep was cut short yesterday. So I only had a few hours of sleep. Then I woke up. What I noticed all throughout the day yesterday, and as I'm being reminded of it, like I can feel it slightly again, I had a headache all day long. And when I tell you, I don't get headaches. There was this part of my spirit that said, it's okay. Because I'm not a medicine taker. I don't believe in fucking chemicals. So you can keep all your motherfucking aspirins and all that other shit. I don't want it. I knew this too shall pass. But what my spirit kept telling me was that it had to do with the change in the synaptic patterns of my brain. Whatever things we talked about yesterday, I remember some of it, but it's channeled. So in my brain and in out my mouth and you know, until Spirit needs me to remember, I don't recall it. And it's one and done, right? Whatever we spoke about yesterday, when I tell you it had a real effect on me because it hit my synaptic patterns. And Spirit has shown me when your synaptic patterns are changing, it feels like a headache. So there's a couple times I sneezed throughout the day. And when I tell you I could feel the pressure behind my eyes, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And then my intuition whispered, Yeah, synaptic patterns are changing. Your brain is feeling the effect of that. So that's a sidebar message. Somebody needs to hear that. You don't need no fucking aspirin or Tylenol or no other chemicals. You don't need to go see the doctor. You're going to be fine. Within about 24 hours, you'll see that that's gone. Get some rest if you can. Okay? Get some rest if you can. Anytime you change your DNA, anytime you change your synaptic patterns, you could definitely feel the resulting headache, right? And that's because there's actual physical structural changes happening in your brain when you do this. And when you speak to your atoms and you pronounce new declarations and new commands over the atoms that compose the physical vessel that you reside in, trust and believe you're restructuring it. Yeah? You can even say thank you. I'm so thankful and grateful for this headache because I know what it's doing. I'm becoming made new. And now they're saying for a lot of you, maybe this will hit home for you. Remember when we were talking that this is divine feminine energy and this is divine masculine energy? For a lot of you, that is applying today. Where this energy we've been talking over here on the tribe side is the spirit self, the spiritual self, the inner world. And this is what's happening in the physical body, the masculine side of you. So that's also there. Let's go into the guidance. Okay, what do we have for the guidance position? Oh, mom. A tattoo with mom with the heart and the arrow through it and the 4-leaf clovers. Maybe I need to tattoo that on myself. Of course, color tattoos. I'm a black and white tattoo person. But maybe you're like me and your mom is in the spirit realm. Okay. Maybe your mom is like somebody else's mom I know, and she shot the arrow through your heart. God dang it. That fucking sucks. But there is this, maybe you are the mom and you've received a recent heartbreak. How does it apply to you? This mom energy is here. And if you're the mom, because I had that too with the family situation. I told you my family is going through a difficult time right now. Yeah, bro. When I tell you my daughter shot me through the fucking heart, bro. Oh, it hurts. It fucking hurts. But I know my mother is also here with me as an angel. So how does it apply to you? This is our message. This is our channel. This is all for all of us. Mom is here. And I hear, as I'm moving to put the card down on the table, your mom's prayers still cover you. I also hear, so remember that your mom's prayers still cover you. I also hear, remember that anywhere where you're the mom or your mom was a big challenge in your life, it was part of the reason for your growth. It was part of the reason for how you got to this point. For somebody here, mom has been the reason why their life has been filled with all the personal struggle and the pain and the challenges and shit like that, right? For some of you, you're the mom who is like always getting the pain and the struggles and the challenges and all of that. But yes, the prayers of your mother. When I tell you every morning around 5 o'clock in the morning, anytime I lived with my mother, or if she, once I grew up and moved out, she'd come and stay at my house, you would hear my mother. My mother didn't believe in praying silently. She prayed at the top of her lungs as loud as I channel these messages for you, which is sort of a form of prayer for me. But she prayed as loud as she possibly could at the fucking window. I believe it was Daniel was the Bible character who prayed at his window every morning before sunrise. That's my mother. She would do that shit full volume, wake me out of a cold, dead sleep with her praying, and I couldn't do nothing. And my mother prayed, when I tell you, the tears would flow. She would yell, she would cry, all the emotions would come from her. But you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I take it. I never bothered her. When I was a little kid, I would catch her doing this stuff at church and in the mornings in the house, and I would just go and wipe her tears. I would just go and wipe her tears while she cried and prayed. As a little kid, it was so hard to see my mother pray that way because it was so emotional. But that energy is here, and however it applies for you, mommy loves you. Even if your they're saying for some of you, mom is a really tough spot, and so you're like, yeah, right. My mom is the reason, right? And but if that's you, for those of you who have a tough energy and mom is a rub, you need to understand that life And its challenges are only here to show you how fucking awesome you are. If your mom is your shadow trigger, her highest self is saying, I know you don't seem like it, but I fucking love you. It's amazing the way it works. Okay? Even the biggest asshole in your life is a form of love to you. I'm going to keep going. So we had the mom card. That got me stuck for a long time. Now we have the ashtray full of cigarette butts. Mine is not. Mine is not full of cigarette butts. This person needs, there's an ashtray that needs to be dumped. And we had the anxiety, right? Okay. So there's been an accumulation of debris. That debris needs to be dumped. Some of you, this person is coming to your experience as evidence of cleaning out your ashtray, right? And you can see that they have a need to clean out their ashtray. They need to dump all the stuff. Okay, let's see what else. The calm. Take a chill pill, bro. But the chill pill is a placebo. And this chill pill with the calm card actually comes through and it looks like a screw. It looks like a dial to me. It looks like a dial on my amplifier. It looks like a dial on my amplifier that I can turn the bass up or down. Personally, when I've had the biggest challenges of my life, I like the bass. Big bass, baby. Boom. I want to feel that shit vibrate my whole body. But, you know, this is the way I see this card. So maybe it's not bass for you, but you can turn the dial on your calm. You can turn your calm up when you need to have more calm. You can turn the calm down if you need to be more excited. But the calm is here, you know, the calm is here. And you have control of the switch. So that calm, although it looks like a pill, also to me looks like a dial that you can dial. You can dial it up, you can dial it down. And that could be of assistance for you or for this person. Tribe, one of the things that you might do is share with this person, like, you can go through this process of transformation that you're going through, and you can go through it as stressed out as you fucking want to be. You can also go through it as calm as you want to be. Either way, you're going to go through it. But if you go through it stressed out, you're going to be a mess and you're going to attract from that energy. If you go through it calm, you can attract from a calm energy, which is a lot more peaceful. And it's possible that you're showing them that or sharing a technique. You could be, you know, encouraging somebody to do a visualization where they actually, in their mind's eye, they see their hand reach up to the calm button and turn the calm all the way up through the most challenging of experiences, right? Let's get one more here. And we have the poster. Oh, this just gave me a scene. I have a scene from the movie Men in Black. I have a scene from the movie Men in Black where they were trying to find out clues about the villain in the story. And they were trying to figure out information, but they were at a roadblock. They were at a standstill. And so Will Smith is all worried about it. And the older dude, he's like, you know what I do when I can't find the answer and I don't know what to do and I don't know where to look. When I hit a roadblock, when I hit a dead end, that means it's time to go eat pie. And Will Smith's like, eat pie? So what do? They go to the diner, they sit, they eat pie. And while they're sitting, what's happening? Let's look at it energetically. While they're sitting in the diner and they're eating pie, they've taken their consciousness away from the problem. So now they're not focused on a problem. They've moved into a softer energy. They're just enjoying the moment, having random conversation, and enjoying the taste of the delicious pie. Well, solutions are delicious. Do you not agree? Any time where you just don't fucking know. When I tell you anything you do that feels light, easy, pleasurable, or delicious, is going to be the easier way to align with the solutions, to find the answers, to change the experience. And somebody don't want me to tell you that. Literally a gnat just came and landed and I squashed that shit. Forgive me for taking a life, but that was a monitoring spirit energy. Not anything that could have any significance. Just enough to be annoying. Yep. More about this, though, now that we've discussed the MIB, Men in Black perspective, which is totally valid. I mean, one more thing about that. While they're sitting there, they got the idea of where to go look. And where they went to go look, like they found information that was valid. It helped them. It was the next logical step. It came to them while they were enjoying the fucking pie and regular ass conversation. Okay. Main point of that, solutions feel delicious. Do something that feels delicious. Okay. The other thing about this card, we have a duck. We have a saying on this channel. It's just like water off a duck's back. The duck can go in the water, it can fly, it can go in the air, it can go on land. The duck can really traverse a lot. But, you know, when the other ducks are having a play in the water, water representing emotions, and the emotions get thrown at them, it just rolls right off of their feathers. It's water off a duck's back. It does not penetrate them. It does not change them. It doesn't fucking bother them. It can't hurt them. They're ducks. As this person is going through this process, or these people go through their process, they could throw a lot of their emotional shit your way, but you have the capacity to be unaffected by it and let it roll off of your back like a duck. Now, the other thing, on its neck, it's got a necklace. I want to call it a necklace, but it actually looks like one of those sweatbands that people put on their forehead when they exercise at the gym. This one's got a big smiley face on it, and because it's a duck, it's not. They could have put it on his forehead, but no, they put it on his neck. That's the throat chakra. This is telling me that when you speak, tribe, you're speaking out positivity. You're speaking out from the higher vibration. Okay. I see in the comments that scientists are even using duck fiber to make waterproof things. I had not known that. That's a cool bit of information. The other thing I'm seeing about this is the fact that, hey, they're having a chocolate shake. So maybe for you, it's not a fucking pie. Maybe it's just a chocolate shake. Maybe you like chocolate. But it's like even in the shadows, chocolate, there's a sweet spot, the shake. If you shake it up and you blend it up, you might find that there's some sweet shit even in the shadows. For example, we'll go with these cards. Mom was pretty fucked up for a lot of people. But you know what? Let's go into the shadow, the chocolate, and find the sweet spot, the shake, and sip that shit down our straw. And the way that works is like, okay, so mom was not good at mothering. Mom had a lot of unhealthy relationships and toxic behaviors. Mom was more worried about smoking her cigarettes, drinking, and shaking her ass than she was taking care of us kids. But, you know, the sweet spot of that is now that I have my kids, I don't really focus on doing things the way my mother do. I know exactly what not to do. I know I don't want to be like my mother, so I don't copy her. Thanks, Mom. You taught me what not to do. Now I have a better idea of what to do. That little bugger had snuck away, but he got caught this time, just so you know. Yep, the gnat came back. The little bugger had get snuck away, but he got caught this time. There's something in that, okay? So, well, there's a lot that came through there. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. It's a pothole. It's a fucking mess. And didn't I tell you that in my visions of the house, they weren't visions, they were dreams. In my prophetic dreams of the house, that there was always this big old hole that had been dug out by a backhoe, or, yeah, a bulldozer, not a bulldozer, a backhoe. They took a backhoe scoop out. The foundation of something has been broke through. We could see and as this foundation is broke, interesting the way this card is speaking, the water is there, the emotion is there, right? As this foundation, so this road is, as you look down the road, like the road is probably old and, you know, it's been damaged. And it needs to be repaired. There's been some damage done. It needs to be repaired. It wasn't easy for this damage to be done. There's a lot of emotions to be discovered and processed as we go through repairing this, but it's there, it's possible, and it's time. And it's happening in this connection. It's 6:30 in the morning here in Las Vegas. I feel one guidance card to close you out. And, oh, yes, from the Magical Unicorns. I'm so glad I looked up. I had pulled this deck earlier. And now's the time to use it. So before we get out of here, we're going to pull you something from Magical Unicorns. Haven't used this one in a while. And it came to me the other day, and then I forgot about it, and it came back again as I was getting ready for our show. So I set it aside. What do we have for the tribe as a final, most important message, please and thank you? What do we have as a final, more important message? I see in the comments where somebody said it was a big fly for me. As the big flies turn into baby gnats, you'll know that they have less and less access to even try to tap into your energy. But when those things show up, it's failed attempts, and it's just Spirit's way of letting you know that there's been more failed attempts to affect your energy field, to tap into you, to spy on you, or whatever the fuck. None of that is relevant here. So let's see, what do we have in this energy field, please and thank you, in this message of this experience for my beautiful brothers and sisters of humanity, for their highest, lightest, and brightest good, for their overall love, peace, health, wealth, and happiness, please and thank you. Most important message for the tribe. Close us out. They're saying, I heard 1 card to 3. I don't know how many they're going to get. Okay. Starting with the bottom of the deck. Hello and goodbye. It literally says hello and goodbye. You'll soon see that this change will make things better. There's been a hello and goodbye energy. And I feel like, you know, maybe on both sides of the table, right? Maybe on both sides of the table. And they did say 1 to 3 cards, and then they give me 4. Lord of mercy. We have forgive. It's time to let go of anger or blame. I heard, yes, absolutely you want to let go of anger or blame, because those are giving your power away. If it's somebody else's fault, what the fuck can you do about it? I mean, there's that. So that looks like it's totally been part of the message of, you know, what this person has to realize. And again, as we had the mom energy, when we was talking about low vibrational mom experience, right? It's time to integrate that shit and turn it into your power. As long as it's somebody else's fault, what the fuck are you going to do about it? You have no power if it's somebody else's fault. They have all the power. So stop. There's an energy here of stop giving your power away. Okay, and figure out how it served your best interest, how it made you kinder, more compassionate, have boundaries, learn to speak up, more aware, choose a different whole fucking way of being. What else? Just be yourself. You're a great person. Enjoy being yourself. Follow your own path. You don't have to follow anyone else's path. You ride in on a horse of purity, on a unicorn of purity. You follow the guidings of your spirit, the white, pure bird there. Just be yourself. What else? Healer. You have the power to help and heal others. And anywhere where there's a dark unicorn who's sitting down and who looks like they've been kind of hurt, you can be the magical fairy to lay hand on them and bless them a little bit. And that's awesome. And exercise, run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. And I just feel like, yeah, this is practice for you, baby. This is practice for you. This is exercising your abilities. What the fuck is the good on having the spiritual degree on the spiritual wall if you don't put it into real world practice? You can be the best healer. You can have all the magic. You can have all the experiences, all the skills, all the abilities. But if you don't put that shit to work to benefit yourself and somebody else, what's the point? What's the point? You got these skills, talents, and abilities, honey. You must put this shit to work. You got to put that into practice. I mean, if you got all the skills, what's the good of being a doctor if you don't heal people? What's the good of being a teacher if you don't teach people? What's the good of being a fucking amazing artist if you're not creating art? What's the good of being an amazing chef if you're not feeding nobody? It's time for you to cook, tribe. You got the prerequisite. You got the qualification. You were good at it before you had the fucking degree on the wall. But you got the degree on the wall now. Now you're a professional. Now you're certified. You can do this shit legit. Let's see what we have for you. For your personal yes or no question, you can participate in this if you like. You don't have to ask a personal yes or no question. But if you would like to, I'm going to give you a yes or no answer to your personal yes or no question. You can ask about anything at all that's on your heart and mind. If you like, you can put it in the comments, but it will work even if you don't. And this will work for all of you one time. Yes or no does not mean good or bad. And we recommend that you ask the question in the first way you heard it, because that's your highest self showing you the way to ask the question to get your accurate answer, because they already know what answer is about to come out. And here we go. We're about to discover it now. Is today's answer for the tribe of love and peace and happiness? Is it yes or no, yes or no, yes or no? What do we have for today's show? Thank you for hyping this video, liking this video, sharing this video, telling somebody about the channel, and coming back yourself. What do we have? The fifth card out is the Ace of Wands, and there's your yes. Yes is the answer. The bottom of the deck is Temperance. Your answer is yes. Okay. So this is what I have for you today. You keep coming back, because I'll keep coming back too. Tribe, you are powerful. You are potent. You carry light codes and DNA upgrades that many people do not. You have levels of self-awareness that many people aren't even willing to explore or look at. But that's one of the reasons you came. You came here to be a magical being in a normal-ass world. And you're doing it well. And we appreciate you. You matter. You've lived lives with so much difficulty and challenge, but all of those experiences were there to develop qualities and traits in you. And nothing was a waste. There was no waste of time for you. All of the time and all of the experience, whether pleasurable or unpleasurable, it was there to serve your best interest, to serve your growth, to serve your awakening, to serve your empowerment. And it was part of getting that degree on the spiritual wall, that spiritual degree on the spiritual wall. Yes, it was a part of that. In other words, it was the homework. It was the class assignments. It was the midterms. It was the essays. It was all of those things that were necessary to get in this position where you are certified, qualified, and fully skilled and ready to offer to the world what nobody else could. Nobody else could offer the world what you can offer the world. The way you do it is so unique to you. And we're thankful for you. Just like you stopped here because something in the way I do what I do speaks to you. You resonate, you feel it, you hear it, and you receive it easily here. And you have the same ability. You are all leaders on this planet at this time, here for a purpose, with your own way of speaking, your own way of thinking, your own quirks and personality traits that are going to be exactly what somebody else needs. And just like you're my tribe, you all have your own tribe. You're my tribe here on our channel. Your channel may not be on YouTube, but you have a channel and you have a tribe. And just like y'all love to come together with me when I go live here and talk, when you go live in whatever form or fashion you do that, they all want to gather and see what you're going to talk about too, and see what you're going to do, what you're going to create. I love it for you. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. I'll be back with more. Until next time, keep being your awesome, powerful, potent selves. Thank you for being. Thank you for existing. I love you. Sending you so much love and peace and happiness. Kamsahamnida. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. Mwah.